Good morning, students. Today I'll discuss with you the human growth and development. So, look, students, most of people use the term growth and development interchangeably and accept them as synonymous. Understood? But in reality, the meaning of these two terms as are different. Okay, so look, first of all we'll know about growth and development. Look here, growth is a different things and development also are different things. So first of all discuss with you growth. So look, students, growth, what is growth, or what is the meaning of growth, or what is the concept of growth? So look, growth refers to physical increase in some quantity over time. What? Growth refers to physical increase in some quantity over time, and it includes changes in terms of height, weight, body proportions, and general physical appearance also. And look here, students, in other hands, it means growth involves all those structural and physiological change that take place within individual during the process of maturation. But in other hands, the meaning of growth involves all those structural and physiological changes that take place within individual during the process of maturation. Understood? Like that, look here. For example, what growth of a child means, there the increase in weight, height, and different organs of the child's body. What growth means, for an example, what when child's growth means the increase in weight, height, and different organs of the child's body. Understood? So next things, development. Concept of development. Look, students, what is the development? Actually, developments refer to the qualitative change in organisms as a whole. What? Development refers to the qualitative changes in the organisms as a whole. Understood? And development is a continuous process through which physical, emotional, and intellectual changes occur. Look here, development is a continuous process. Understood? And through which physical, emotional, and intellectual changes occur. And development also is a wider and comprehensive term than growth. What? Development is a wider and comprehensive term than growth, and it also possible without growth. But growth is not possible without development. Okay? And look here, there are definitions. What is the definitions? The series of changes which an organism undergoes is in passing from an embryonic stage to maturity. That's called development. Look here, for an example, what are these actually? For an example, so when development includes all those psychological changes that take in functions and activities to different organs of an organism. What? Development includes all those psychological changes development, and it continues and gradual process. I mean, this one continuous process. Look, that's why according to Crow and Crow, development is concerned with growth as well as those changes in behavior which result from environmental situation. What Crow and Crow told us, development is concerned growth as well as those changes in behavior which results from environmental situation. That's why the development is a process of change in growth and capability over time due to functions of both maturation and interactions with the environment also. So now look students, comparison of growth and development. What? Now look, comparisons growth and development. Comparison of growth and development. So look students, difference between growth and development. Look, growth refers physiological changes. What? Growth refers physiological changes, but development refers to the overall changes in the individual, and it involves changes in an orderly and coherent type towards the goal of maturity. What? Growth refers the physiological changes and development refers psychological, emotional. These are all in the individual. So it involves changes an orderly and coherent type of towards the goal of maturity. And next one, changes in the quantitative respects is termed as growth. Quantitative changes in the respect is termed as growth, but development changes in the quality along with qualitative aspects. What? Look here. Growth in the quantitative respects is termed as growth, and development changes in the quality along with quantitative aspects. Understood? And growth does not continue throughout the life. Growth does not continue throughout the life, but development continues throughout the life. Understood? Growth is the not growth does not continue through the life, but development continues throughout the life, and growth stops after maturation as a certain age. Growth stops after maturation as a certain age, and look here, development progresses till death. And look here, growth occurs due to the multiplication of cells. Growth occurs due to the multiplications of cells, and developments occurs due to the both maturation and inertia interactions with the environment. Okay, and look students, now growth is cellular. What? Growth is cellular, but development is organizational, and growth is the one of the part of the developmental process, but development is a wider and comprehensive term. So these are all about comparisons of growth and development. Understood? So look here, there are some another thing. What are these? Look, actually there are principles of human development. What? Principles of human development. Look students, developmental psychologists believe that knowledge of an accurate pattern of development is fundamental to an understanding of children. What? Principles of human development. What? Developmental psychologists believe that knowledge of an accurate pattern of development is fundamental to an understanding of children, and there are several basic principles that categorize characterize the pattern and process of growth and development. So these principles describe typically development as a predictable and orderly process. Okay, and even true, there are individual difference in children's personalities, attitudes, behavior, and timing of development. So that's why the principles and characteristics of development are universal patterns. So these principles are: development involves in change, developments involve change, understood, and development is a continuous process, development is a continuous process, and development follows a direction and uniform pattern in an orderly manner. What development follows a direction and uniform pattern in an orderly manner. Okay, and individual differences in the development process. What individual differences in the development process, understood, and different development also depends on maturation and learning. And another thing, development is predictable, I have already told you, and early development is more critical than later development. Okay, and lastly, look here, development involves social expectation, development has potential hazard also, and happiness varies at different periods of development. So these are all principles of development. Okay, and look students, principles of human development, but the 6 principles of development are mentioned. What are these 6 principles of development? Look, development is a long life process. How development is a process which continues throughout life. It begins at birth and end in the death of an individual. The second one, development includes both gain and loss during the life span, and the child may develop in one area and loss in another area, understood, and development is influenced by the biological factor and environmental situation. Okay, and the human development is influenced by biological and environmental factors also. And for examples, look, the body strength of the child develops in the early period, but may deteriorate during old age. Okay, and number 4, development involves changing the allocation of resources. It states that during different developmental periods, for example, during old age, people require more money to maintain their proper health, understood. And number 5, development can be modified. What these principles reveals that through proper training, development can be modified, and an individual can maintain his proper health by doing different exercise even in old age. And lastly, last one, the principles of human development is based upon historical and cultural development. But development is based upon historical and cultural environment. So the child grows, develops, acquires knowledge about the tradition, rules, regulation of society according to his historical and cultural environment. So these are all about principles of development. Today I discuss with you development and growth. So development, growth, concept of development, concept of growth, and what is the principles of human development are also discussed with you. So today's is these are all. Next class I will discuss with you more things about the human development and growth. Okay, thank you.